Hello students, welcome to our today's class. In our today's class, our focus will be on area of a circle and the area of a sector. So to start with, you need to understand what is a circle is. A circle, it is a shape that is going to be of that nature, whereby we have the center and we have the boundary here, which we normally refer as the circumference. So this boundary here, which is circular in shape, is normally referred as the circumference. And then we have got the center of that particular circle. And then we have got a line that you can be able to draw from the center to the circumference. This particular line is normally referred as the radius. So the radius is the distance from the center to the circumference. But if we draw a line that is cutting from one end of the circumference to the other end of the circumference and it passes through the center, like for example, if we can draw it like that, so that it comes from point A all the way to point B, this whole distance from A to B is normally referred as the diameter. So if we can have that, the whole of it is referred as the diameter. So you can be able to conclude here that the radius is actually half of the diameter. So the area of a circle is normally given by the formula pi r squared, whereby pi, it is a constant. Pi is a constant, which is normally given by the 22/7. In your calculators, you will find a button that you can be able to press for you to get the value of pi, but you need to understand is actually 22/7, which can be expressed in fraction as 3.142 in decimal point. Then, after having understood that, we can look at some examples. We can look at some example. Like, for example, we can have this case whereby you are told a circle has got the following details. The circle has a radius of maybe 14 centimeter. Now you are told, can you calculate its area? Can you calculate its area? Area, we know it is actually pi r squared, where pi is a constant that is known to be given by 22/7 times the radius, which is actually 14 times 14. 7 goes to 14 twice. So the whole area will be given by the product of 22 times 2 and then times 14, which you are going to find it to be 22 times 2 times 14, which will give you 616. So this one gives you 616, and it should always be in units squared, as we said. Area is normally given by units squared. So that is how we normally calculate the area of a circle. Having understood that, you can be able now to calculate any value that you are not given in the area. Like, for example, you can be told that the area is maybe 215 centimeters squared of a circle, and you are told that calculate the radius of that particular circle. So if you are given the area, we know pi is given by 22/7, then radius is not given. So we can come here and apply the formula and we say the area is given by pi r squared. Therefore, A, we know it as 215 should be equal to 22/7 times the radius squared. If we want to remain with the radius only on this side, then we multiply each side by the reciprocal of 22/7, which is actually 7/22. So we multiply this side by 7/22 and this side by 7/22. so that 7 and 7 can cancel, 22 and 22 can cancel. We remain with r squared on this side. And then we work out this. 7 times 215, 215 times 7, which gives us 1505 over 22. So if you divide this one by 22, you'll find that is going to be 68.4 is equals to r squared. For us to get the value of r, then we take the square root of 68.4 for us to be able to get the value of r. And you'll find that is going to be r is equals to 8.27. So this formula you can be able to use to calculate any value, either the area or the radius. After understanding that, we can proceed now and talk about the area of a sector. Area of a sector. First of all, you need to understand that a sector, it is a region that is bounded by the two radii of a circle and part of the circumference. So it is a case like this. You have your circle here, you have the center, you draw one radii or radius, and then you draw another one. This region that is bounded by the two radii and the circumference is a sector. Also, this region that is unshaded is actually another sector, because we have got this radius and the circumference here and crossing this region here. So in a circle, you can have two sectors, whereby the bigger sector is normally referred as the major. This is referred as the major sector, and the smaller sector is referred as the minor sector. The area of a circle, we have said, in terms of a circle, area is given by pi r squared. That is what we know. But ideally, this area is normally given by 360 degrees over 360 degrees pi r squared. Reason being, a whole circle has got an angle of the center equivalent to 360 degrees. So it is actually 360 degrees over 360 degrees, which is total, times pi r squared. You'll find that now 360 and 360 will cancel out for us to remain with the pi r squared as the formula for getting the area. In most cases now, the sectors, they are not going to be a full circle. They are going to have degrees which are actually less than 360 here. So ideally now, to get the area of a sector, it is the angle that sector subtends at the center. If, for example, a sector subtends 1 degree at the center of the circle, therefore, area will be equal to 1 degree over 360 degrees times pi r squared, If it subtends an angle of 20 degrees at the center, so if we have a sector that is behaving like this, maybe this one is the 20 degrees, then the area of this sector here will be equal to 20 over 360 pi r squared. If we have a sector that is having maybe 60 degrees at the center, area will be equal to 60 over 360 pi r squared. Therefore, if we have a sector that is having an angle of theta at the center, if we have a sector that is having an angle theta here at the center, the area should be given by theta over 360 pi r squared. And this is actually the formula for getting the area of a sector. Area of a sector is given by theta over 360 times pi r squared. So you can be given an example that says, find the area of a sector with radius. The sector has got radius 3 centimeter, and the angle, which is now our theta, is given by 140 degrees. So you should come here and you say area of a sector is given by theta over 360 degrees times pi, which is 22 over 7, times the radius, in this case it is 3 squared, And note, our theta here, it is 140. So it is 140 over 360 times pi r squared, and you will find this answer is going to be 11 centimeters squared. It's going to give you 11 centimeters squared. This formula can also be used to calculate theta and radius if you are given area. You can find a scenario whereby you are given this. You are told that the area of a sector is given by 38.5 centimeters squared. Now you are asked, find the radius. Find radius if the angle at the center, which is theta, is 90 degrees. If angle at the center is 90 degrees, and then you are told you take pi to be equal to 22 over 7. Then you should come here and you say, we know area is given by theta over 360 pi r squared. This area has been given, it is 38.5, must be equal to theta, which is 90 over 360 here, times pi, which is a constant, 22 over 7, times the radius squared, which we don't know. And actually, that is what we are calculating. Then come here and tell me, how are we going to remain with r squared on this side, and then we take this one on the other side? It is simple. For us to remain with r squared here, we multiply this side by the reciprocal, or we multiply both sides by the reciprocal of this and the reciprocal of this. So in short, we should have this. The reciprocal of 90 over 360, it is 360 over 90 times the reciprocal of 22 over 7, it is 7 over 22 times 38.5 on this side should be equal to 90 over 360 times 22 over 7 times the reciprocal. Remember, these reciprocals were to multiply both sides, times 360 over 90 times 7 over 22 times r squared. I've multiplied this on both sides. So that now 90 and 90 will cancel out, 360 and 360 will cancel out, 22 and 22 will cancel out, 7 and 7 will cancel out. Therefore, on this side, we are going to remain with only r squared. Then now we can work out this. We can work out this, and you'll find that if you work out this, you multiply 360 times 7 times this one, divided by this 90 times 22, you should get 49. You find that r squared is equals to 49. Therefore, if r squared is equals to 49, therefore r should be given by the square root of 49, and therefore r is equals to 7. R is equals to 7. Basically, that is how we normally work it out. Whenever you have got a formula, it is not always for you to get what you are supposed to get here. Like for this example, it is the area of a sector is given by this. You can be able to calculate any unknown in this particular formula, so long as you are given the others and only one is not given. So you need to know how to work out this formula and then be able to get either area or pi or the radius. Thank you very much for attending this particular lesson, and I encourage you to continue attending the lessons and reading the materials and watching the videos that I'm going to be attaching.